We will be discussing the different ways to explore the different cities on your off days.
Let's go get food.
Where do you want to go?
How about Chipotle?
That sounds good. Do you want to take an Uber to get there?
Sure, but how do we use Uber?
So in this slideshow, we will talk about how to navigate through the Uber app and what exactly Uber is, and then also how you can download Uber to your mobile device if you have not already done so. So to start off, what is Uber? Uber is an app that connects you with drivers to take you to a specific destination that you would like within a specific area, and it searches for different drivers that are in your area that then can take you to your destination. This is especially helpful in your situation of being at one of your affiliates of the Royals and you might not have your car, so on off days, for instance, or just going to grab a bite to eat, whatever it may be, Uber can be especially helpful for you guys when you don't have another form of transportation. So Uber is an application that you can put onto your mobile device. For our showing purposes, we're going to use what it will look like on an iPhone screen, but it should look pretty similar as it would on an Android or any other mobile device. So to start out with, we're going to show you how to get this from the App Store. So on your right hand side of the screen, it's going to show what your home screen of your mobile device is going to look like, and down in that bottom right hand corner where we have the green circle, it's going to show an App Store icon, and you can go ahead and click on that. So now you are in the App Store. If the screen on your phone does not look like the screen that is shown on the right hand side of this PowerPoint, then you just need to go ahead and click on the search button at the bottom of your screen. We have it highlighted here. Go ahead and click on that and it will bring you to the correct screen. So now at the top of your screen there's a search bar. You can go ahead and click into the search bar and your keyboard will pop up, and then you can type in Uber just like we have spelled here on our screen. Once you've done that, you can select Uber right below here. We have it in a green box that you can follow along with. Go ahead and click that. Just make sure you do not click on your phone something that says Uber Eats or the Uber driver app or anything along those lines, because that will bring you to a different application. You can go ahead and double check that your screen and our screen match and that the Uber icon is the same, because this will be the icon that is showing what the Uber application is. If you have that correct, you can click that open button, or it might say get as well. You can go ahead and click that just like what we have in our green box, and then that will start the process to put this application onto your phone. And then once that has happened, it will either say open or the clock circle will be completely full and you can go ahead and open this application on your home page. Now I've hit my home button on my phone and returned back to the home screen, and I went ahead and found the Uber app wherever it has placed it on your phone in your mix of icons, and then you can go ahead and select the Uber app to open the application. So now I am in the Uber app, and you may have to, before you can see the screen, you may have to sign in or sign up if you haven't used Uber before, and that will take care of all of your information. You will also put in a debit or credit card in there, and then once you have done that, it will bring you to this screen, and when you are on this screen, this is where you are going to type in the address of where you would like to end up at, and then it will begin the search. So you can go ahead and click on the where to, just as you would if you were typing in where you would like to go. So now the app has found you a ride and processed where you would like to go and is calculating how much this will be. So now the screen on the right is showing a pool option, and then there is another option. So the pool option just means that you are allowing it to pick up other people along and you'll ride with other people during this form of transportation. It's generally a cheaper option. If you are okay with this option, you can go ahead and select pool, which will bring us to our next step, or if you would like to look into other options and what all of the different options are and what they mean, you can go ahead and click the button that says click here. So this is a list of all of the different Uber options. Not all of the options are going to be available in every city. They will be based off of how popular Uber is in that city and many other different factors. But these are just some of the examples that you can see throughout your time of using Uber wherever you may be. So we'll start with Uber Pool and work our way down the list. You guys can go ahead and read those. It just pretty much the biggest difference is depending on how many people you can fit in the car, how nice the car is going to be, for instance, or if you're going to take this ride with other people or just by yourself to your specific destination. So after you have chosen what kind of Uber you would like to take, for this example we are using Uber Pool, and it is showing the amount of money that is going to cost in the upper right hand corner of the screen, and then down below it is asking us to confirm the amount of seats that we will need. Make sure that you are not trying to put multiple people in one seat sharing a seatbelt. Only one person can use one seatbelt at a time. So you can go ahead and choose how many seats, and once you have done that and you are satisfied with the amount of seats you will be using in this Uber, you can go ahead and click confirm seats. And one last time before they send the Uber on the way, they just ask that you look over the price and agree to that price, as well as asking you to look over the seats that you would want, just to be sure you didn't click the wrong button. And then again, once you have done that, you can go ahead and click confirm seats. Now Uber will show you where your potential driver is on a map and how far away they are and what time they will arrive at where you are to pick you up. If all of this is okay with you, you can go ahead and confirm pickup, and once you do this, it will send a notification to your driver that they are now coming to pick you up. While you are waiting for your Uber, you can check on your phone at any time to see where they are at and how far away they are, but just make sure you state your location that you put into the app so they can find you, and then you can expect a call from an unknown number, and that will most likely be your driver. And then when the car shows up, just make sure that you confirm the name of the driver and the make and model of the car to make sure that you're actually getting into the right vehicle. When you are in the car, this is the screen that will show in the app, and you will be able to see your estimated time of arrival at your destination. And then to see the screen that it will show you once you have arrived at your destination, go ahead and click the click here button. So this is a form of receipt that will show on your phone just to show how much you were charged for your trip, and then you can go ahead and at the bottom of the screen leave a comment or just rate them by a specific star amount out of 5, and then go ahead and click submit. If you do this, it just helps other drivers and customers to know if they should take that Uber driver or possibly take another one if you do not feel safe, for instance. Thanks for checking out how to use Uber with us, and we hope that you've enjoyed your experience.
What should we do on our day off?
You want to go see a movie?
Sure, how should we get there?
Let's take an Uber. Oh wait, I don't have a credit card.
That's okay, let's just use a taxi.
I've never used one before. How do we do that?
In this slideshow, we will be talking about how to use a taxi and why you may choose to take a taxi rather than a different form of transportation. So for starters, what is a taxi? A taxi, or also known as a taxi cab, is a vehicle that anybody can hire to transport people from one place to another. This can be just one person, or it can be a group of people, generally ranging from about 4 to 6 passengers. And generally you can identify it by the taxi symbol that is on the top of the card, just as what we have on this slide. So since you've just been moved up to Idaho Falls, an affiliate of the Royals, we are going to talk a little bit about different options that you have in Idaho Falls to take a taxi. So your first option is you can have a taxi pick you up at a specific time that you will set in advance, and that's generally better for longer trips. And then your other option is having a taxi pick you up right away, and you just call that at the time that you would like, just like we have previously talked about with Uber. This is just another option. And that's generally better for in-city trips that are a little bit shorter distance. So you can go ahead and select and click here wherever you would like to follow along. So if you would like to get a taxi right away, in Idaho Falls, the best taxi company is called Idaho Falls Cab. And if you want to get it right away and you know your location of where you are and where you would like to go, you can just go ahead and call this number that we have listed right here. And then if you want to fast forward and know how to go through the payment for a taxi, you can go ahead and click here for payment info. And if you would like to go back and look at how you can schedule a taxi in advance, go ahead and select click here for additional taxi info. If you would like to schedule a pickup for a taxi, this must be done at least 12 hours in advance of when you would like to be picked up, but all you have to do is go ahead and follow the link that we have on this screen, and that will take you to a website where you should be able to see something like this picture that we have in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Once you see that, you just go ahead and fill that up and click submit at the bottom of the page, and it will show you that you have now scheduled a pickup time for a taxi. If you would like to move ahead and look at the payment information and how you pay for a taxi, go ahead and select click here for payment info. And if you would like to go back and look at how you can get a taxi right away, go ahead and select click here for additional taxi info. Paying for a taxi is pretty simple. You have several different options. You can either pay with a debit or a credit card, or you can just pay with cash. But if you're paying with cash, just make sure you have a little bit more money with you than you think you're going to need just in case. So the fee schedule for the Idaho Falls Cab Company is as listed right here when it says fee schedule, which is $2.50 per mile with a $10 minimum, and $10 will take you up to 4 miles. And then $12 from the nearest hotels and blocks to airport, $15 minimum for the rest of the city, and then 67 cents per minute of waiting time, and that makes 1 hour of waiting time $40. It is important to note that taxi cab rates change based on the companies and the different states that you are using taxi in, so it's just best to Google search taxi companies that are in your area before getting a ride so you have a heads up about how much it's going to cost. And if you have any questions about tipping, you can go ahead and select the click here button. So tipping is just something that you can do as an additional thank you to your driver if you feel like you've had a really great experience. Generally, about 15 to 20% of the total amount you paid for your ride is a general guideline for something that you would tip for good service. If you've had a poor experience, it's not necessary to tip, but generally you want to leave some sort of tip, but it doesn't have to be 15 or 20% if you haven't had a great experience. So thanks for hanging out with us and learning how to take a taxi. We hope you've enjoyed your experience. Uber and taxis are great options for transportation, but they are not your only options. You can use these forms of transportation while you are traveling around the cities of the different affiliates.